Hi!
Hi!
In this episode, Gary and me will talk you through 5 important things about your pre-wash. Let's talk pre-wash. What is it and why is it important? And is it only putting some foam on your car and rinsing it off? Gary, what's your thought?
No, it's much more involved. We want to make sure that we get as much contamination off the vehicle before going into a contact wash.
Before we start tackling the paintwork, it's important that we start with the wheels and the wheel arches first. So Gary, how do you start?
Best thing to do, if you can, is remove the alloy wheel. Make sure it's jacked up and make sure it's safe. Then you can get into that area, you can get fully cleaning of the wheel arch, the suspension, the brakes, and make sure you get a thorough clean.
And what kind of products would you use?
We'll be using a mixture of all-purpose cleaners, possibly tar, some fallout remover, depending on how bad it's got.
And after a heavy winter, it might be possible that you will need several hits.
So once we finish the arches and wheels, what's the next thing we move on to?
What I like to do is I like to start with the door shuts. I use some APC and some microfiber towels, get them really clean before I do my process of cleaning the car. After I have rinsed the door shuts, then I have no chance of putting dirt on my freshly cleaned car afterwards. While Gary is continuing with the wheels, I'm gonna tackle the door shuts. You can choose APC or bug and grind, depending on how dirty they are. For this situation, I will choose bug and grime and start by spraying all the door shuts with the product. Okay, so I sprayed bug and grime into the door shuts. I have a bucket with warm water, microfiber towel and a silk mitt, and I will not use any brushes, but I will agitate my bug and grime with some shampoo in the bucket to loosen all the dirt and get them as clean as possible. When you have finally rinsed your door shuts, give it a spritz of wet coat and it will be helpful when you dry your car.
Next, we like to move on to the lower panels, and we're going to use an APC or a traffic film remover, and we're going to fully soak the bottom areas of the vehicle. On top of that, we're going to foam to allow it to dwell.
For extra dirty cars, I can give you a tip. Put a 30mm APC solution into your foam gun and then put that on top for that extra kick. Remember, a proper PIR, and we made a great video about it, you can check it out here, is important to have your foam dwelling. Shaving cream is not always the most efficient.
A good tip is to work from the bottom up, so you are making sure you have even dwell time and coverage of product.
After Gary sprayed the whole lower part of the car with bug and grime, it's time to put some snow foam on top. I did 30ml of APC to give it some extra kick. Let's go.
It's important that you don't allow it to sit for too long. You do not want the product to dry out. You want to make sure it's left for a few minutes just so it can dwell and do its work.
So now it's time to rinse and flush the car properly before we start washing it. So the real importance of our pre-wash is to get as much dirt off the car before we start the real contact wash. So we are finally done with the pre-wash. Gary, thank you for helping me out.
Thanks for having me.
If you like this episode, feel free to comment. If you have any more tips, write them down below. We are out. See you soon. Ciao.